Hello. I think this video is running on Christmas Day, if my calculations are correct. So I want to first say Merry Christmas to everybody that celebrate Christmas. In honor of my best childhood friend from the age of 10, Happy Hanukkah. I'm like an honorary Jewish person, he's told me many times. Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate. The last thing I want is an argument over wishing a happy holiday to everyone. So happy everything that you celebrate. And please don't find any offense in something meant to truly and genuinely be benevolent. I'm wishing greatest wishes of joy and peace to everyone at this time of year, period. I don't care if you don't celebrate anything. Happy December 25th. Have a great one. You know what I mean? I don't think I said please subscribe and like on my last video. But please subscribe and like. We've developed a great community here. Great community. This topic that happened to land on Christmas Day, I don't really plan these things out. One topic leads to another. I make an outline and I schedule it out, and here it is. Now, this is going to be on Christmas Day. And this is a juicy one, and it might be a long one, and I'm going to try to keep it to the time I generally like to keep it. But when you enter into a thing and you don't know a relationship and you don't know that they're a narcissist, you are clueless. So you believe in them, you believe in the hope, you keep it, you believe they're going to change, you believe, oops, they made a misstep, they won't make another one, right? That's what we do to ourselves. It is really, really vital to be on the lookout for a narcissist and allow yourself to be able to spot them. Allow yourself to catch on. Otherwise, you're destined to hope forever. In other words, if you encounter someone and you think you see it, or you're not sure if you see it, and you choose to spend time with them, until you see the truth of them, your path is bleak. Bleak. And you will be hurt again and again and again and again and again. And you know what led me to this topic? I started to think about this with all of this news about Tristan Thompson and Khloe Kardashian. If you do not know who they are, look up their story, but they're all over pop culture. This doesn't have to do with whether or not you follow pop culture. This has to do with narcissism at its utmost, at least I think from afar, and how the girl just has zero idea, obviously, that he has narcissistic personality disorder. I'm not a doctor, I'm not diagnosing him, and I'll explain what I mean as this video goes on. And whether or not he has the disorder, of course I don't know. I don't know him. But I can tell you that his behavior has exhibited over the past few years that which screams this disorder. And she keeps going in, again and again and again, hoping for change. And just now it's in the news that now this cat has a baby with another person. And he was unfaithful to her again this past March. And you know, I feel bad. I feel really, really bad, because I'm looking at it from the perspective that we're all learning and other people are not. And she's hearing things. I wrote them down in quotes. She deserves everything she gets. WTF is wrong with her. She has low self-esteem. She has no dignity. She's getting what she deserved. You lose them like you got them. This poor girl. And you might say, well, no, not poor girl. She stole him from another girl and da ba 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 ba. We're dealing with somebody who, I'm just going to allegedly say, but I'm not going to repeat allegedly, but I'm stating allegedly that I think he reeks of having this disorder. But I'm not going to repeat that every single time. I've made my point. I'm not diagnosing him. However, there's a lot of what we would have heard. Everything she's hearing, that's a lot of what we would be hearing if we allowed our situation to play out in front of friends and family. We have the benefit of keeping as much private as we want. We don't share because we don't want to hear these kinds of comments, which we know would be on the minds of those around us if they knew. We would be no different. We would have I could say all those comments about myself. Right? But I hope your people would express it more lovingly than some of the ones here, because they're pretty mean. She has no dignity. She has low self-esteem. That's not necessarily a mean comment, but it might be true, and she might not know that truth or like that truth about herself. These are not nice things she's reading about herself. But my people would definitely be questioning, my behavior and commenting if I shared what was going on. And there is a lot of commentary that you do receive as soon as you do share, isn't there? You have friends that say to you, well, this case, and I'm just using it because it's in the news and it's easy to refer to because it's everywhere right now. This is a case where intuition, watching for red flags, could have come in the handiest ever. And by ever, I mean ever. Ever. Straight up Rhode Island accent. Ever. But this is it. It couldn't have felt right. Just by viewing the math of her relationship with this guy, without knowing them, I'm pointing like the TV is over there, like they're over there. Without knowing them, it was messy always. This poor girl just doesn't understand his truth of having a disorder that dictates he will behave in a deplorable fashion. Not an excuse for his behavior, but it is a truth of his behavior. At least it seems to me. Look, I can't help myself going in for that allegedly. It seems to me, and again, I don't know him, but I can see that without knowing them. Can't you? I'm not a doctor, but rather than sit inside that story and scratch your head screaming, why? Again, if Chloe knew any of what we knew, it would make more sense to her. She kept going back in again and again and again because she was trying to hope again that he changed. She was believing him again that he changed. It's the cycle we've all experienced. She just happened to have a baby from it. I don't know, many of you have children with yours too, and they may have even been your spouse. In many cases with my audience, it is that case. Point is, the narcissistic behavior runs the same. Whether you're married or not, whether you have children or not, whether they swear to you they'll change or not. 10 miles away, this guy screams narcissist. Now, that it's so clear to me, I can't unsee it. I feel badly for her. She's going through all those feelings we get, but in front of everybody. Can you imagine that? And he is just a classic case of what we discussed. At least from my view, he is. And therefore, he'll never be fixed. He's incapable of giving her what she wants. Ever. Ever. Cheated when she was about to give birth. Had 2 pregnancies simultaneously, I believe, at that time. I think she was pregnant and somebody else was pregnant, and he broke up with that girl, and then, and then they broke up because it was found that he was cheating, and then they got back together. Then he's kissing Jordan Woods, and then they broke up again, and then they were back together, and now it turns out he cheated then too in March, and the hookup led to the pregnancy now of some other girl that just gave birth. Oh my God. And I'm sorry, I can't help feel bad for what Chloe is feeling, because I'm recognizing it as she's a victim of this just like we are. He might have love bombed her into infinity. She's starstruck. She's in that feeling that we all have. She can't shake it. She can't shake him. She can't let it go. He's made her think she's special. But the devaluing is obvious to me. The hoovering is obvious to me. That's how he gets her back. Her going back and forth is obvious to me. The love bombing is obvious to me. Otherwise, he wouldn't get her back. And him feeling entitled to behave any way that he wants is certainly obvious to me. Oh my God. This is clearly not an oops, I made a mistake. This guy really seems to think he is entitled to behave in these ways, any way he wishes. This guy clearly keeps going back to woo her big time. So she's answering the Hoovers affirmatively. This guy clearly talks a good game since she did so much back and forth. She keeps agreeing to give it another shot. For whatever her reasons are, doesn't matter. I want True to know her father. I want him to be involved. We're just trying to be friends. No, please stop. They were back together. And each time that he then devalued her with his behavior. And you know, when he devalues her and he goes out into the world and then has this affair, there was a Sydney Chase too. Remember that one? There was a Sydney Chase who said to her that she said right out loud, he wasn't in any relationship with Chloe. While he in fact was. It's all stuff we talk about. Mine did that. Yours probably did that. Mine did that to his new girl. I'm not in a relationship with Renee. And to me, didn't tell me he was trying to get another girlfriend 3 hours away. So he's playing us both. This is clearly what he did with this girl, Sydney Chase. Oh, I don't have a relationship with Chloe. How hurtful for Chloe. And I believe Sydney Chase. Why? Because the guy seems to have the exact pattern of these cookie cutter behaviors that we know exist. She's nuts for him, it seems, because he made her feel like she's never felt the love bomb. I mean, I can't not see his dysfunction. If he's not officially diagnosed, he's definitely exhibiting classic behaviors that are prevalent in the disorder, I'm just saying. But poor girl has zero idea. And I use the example of them because it's on the pop culture news right now, and it just leaves me awestruck that she doesn't know. So she keeps having hope. I mean, we didn't know. None of us knew either. So of course she doesn't know. I mean, I don't know how, being that she's a public figure, she doesn't have people clamoring to throw this information at her. To let her know he'll never change. To let her know you can't believe anything he tells you. I want to just tell her all of this information. Let her know it's not her. And as far as her having low self-esteem, well, you know what? We have a low, yeah, that probably is true. We have a hole in our self-love that we allow someone in to do this to us. She's no different. She's just a human like anybody else who fell victim to this horrific cycle. Unfortunately for her, well, maybe not. I mean, she has her daughter. I'm not going to say unfortunately it produced a child. She has her beautiful daughter. So that is what she is seeing as a positive. I've heard her say that. Of course, she can't picture her life without her daughter now that she has her. Of course not. But she'll have to deal with this cat the rest of her life. The rest of her life. And now he has 3 different children from 3 different people and has never been married. I don't think he has. I know he didn't marry any of these 3 people. And it disheartens me so much because if you have zero idea that they're a narcissist with this disorder, then you do hold out hope, don't you? We've all done it. You just keep hoping, oh, he'll change, or I feel bad. I see the interviews of her, like, post an infraction or post a transgression and her saying, well, we're in a good place, and, oh, my God. But I think people should ease up on her. She's a victim of this is an emotional roller coaster she's been on, and I think we should ease up on the girl. She's any one of us. And again, please Save ugly commentary. I don't want that. I really don't. Like, if you have the opinion of, and I know a lot of you, I see the comments, I read threads with everything. And I see the general, well, she's going to lose him like she got him, and she did the same thing before, and she stole him from someone else, and you know what? Whatever. That's all commentary that may be true, may not be true. The girl before her says no. They were broken up before Chloe met him. So he was that much of a cad that he went with this girl, got her pregnant. They weren't even together. But that happens, I guess. It might have been the girl's choice. But they weren't even together, they say. The point is, their details don't matter, just like we say our details don't matter. That girl has zero idea. Nobody has said to her, hey, listen, Chloe, sit down. There's this thing called narcissistic personality disorder, and Tristan seems to exhibit signs 1 through 20 out of 20. You may want to look at it as he is someone who, you can't believe what he says. He is someone who is never going to change. He can't deliver to you the kind of person you want. He's incapable of giving you what you want. Monogamy, honesty, truth, respect, loyalty. They don't. They're not made of that. They're not made of it. She just is in it. And who knows what will happen in the future? Who knows what will happen by this video? I think I mentioned on the last video, I think today's the 7th, and I'm videoing, ahead of time like I do, but this is really ahead of time because company's coming in and I want to make sure all my videos are done and I don't have to, scramble to get it done. I like to do it when I have plenty of time before company starts coming and all this. So things may even change for her again by the 25th, but I'm telling you what, I hope she goes into 2022 and shuts the door on this like we just talked about with the last video. I hope her 2022 is a cleaner version than her 2021. Because right now, you can't help do the math. A man you're with shows up with a baby 9 months after you were with them. You do the math. You start looking at it. And it's a tragedy that she keeps going back in. And we've all done it. We've all done it. And I mean, I'm sorry. I don't think anyone deserves it. And I think that it's a terrible thing that she's going through. And I feel badly that she's going through it. I don't know the truth about whether or not she stole him from somebody else. So again, we're not going to comment on that. But just look at it as an example of the narcissistic disorder that we all deal with. It is glaringly obvious to me. Yet in every story I've looked at, you see 3-4 minute clips, you hit it, you listen to the news. Nobody says this. They talk about the actions. Oh, he cheated, he did this, he got caught here, he got caught. Nobody says, I can't wait for the day that the dialogue is, okay, we clearly have somebody that suffers from narcissistic personality disorder, and Khloe Kardashian has now seen the behaviors unfold, and now she's privy to it, and she won't go back in because she knows that he can't change. That's the kind of news I hope to see one day. It's not happening right now. As much information is out there on this topic, it's just not a well-known topic. It's not. So if you go out into the world and you start meeting people, you keep your eyes open. You should be able to spot one by now. We've talked a lot about it, and you should allow yourself to catch on and nip it in the bud if you think you smell it. Merry Christmas, Merry Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate. You have a wonderful, wonderful holiday, and I hope you're surrounded by people you love and things you love and food that you love. And I'll see you tomorrow.